So the really cool thing about the new Pokemon game, I mean, everything's not perfect with it yet. Really hoping for trading to be up soon so we can really build our ideal tournament decks. But the best thing right now, I think, about the online game is that you can challenge friends. You don't just have to play random people and try and, get matched up with a friend that's online at the same time. You can actually be friends with people and challenge your friends. So this is my first online game against one of my Poketubers. So this is against Penguinsdude74. His online name is that M. Wrightspear? Oh, MR Nightspear, sorry. And yeah, so I start off with a lone Dynamo. He starts off with Altaria, so I'm immediately thinking Fluffy Chomp. Garchomp Altaria. Garchomp hits really hard. It's a dragon type, and for every Altaria in play, that increases the attack damage by 20 hit points. So that can start hurting really fast. So I'm starting off with that Dynamo. I communicated in a Terrakion for an Emolga, and I'm going to use that switch to get Emolga into the active position and use Call for Family. And I have no supporters in my hand right now, so right now I'm just going to have to rely on Emolga's Call for Family just to load my bench up. And go for a Mewtwo and a Zekrom. Mewtwo because I really want that high damage output. And kind of without a supporter, I want to be able to try and take an early prize. I want to be able to put the pressure on. And then, of course, Zekrom is another good primary attacker. I should probably have gone for another Dynamo, but I think I have a good chance at another Call for Family. But it looks like I'm not waking up from going to sleep, so not this turn. So I'm going to attach an Electric Energy Evolve to Eel and attach that Eviolite to my Mewtwo in case he runs a Mewtwo counter. You can kind of read our conversation in the corner too. So he's saying he has a terrible start, that he didn't have a trainer, that I had a good start despite my lack of supporter. And here we go where sometimes the game still kind of lags. So he attaches another energy to the Swablu. It looks like I'm still asleep. He's going to play Tool Scrapper and get rid of my Eviolite. So that's a new card from Dragons Exalted. You can get rid of 2 tools in play, both yours and your opponent's. If you only want to get rid of 1, you can only get rid of 1. You do not have to get rid of 2. So, I know there's been some confusion with, you have a tool attached, your opponent has 1 tool attached, and, you think you have to discard your own. Not true, you're good. So, he gets rid of my Eviolite, not really that worried about, and since I'm still asleep, he uses Peck to put some damage, and I am still asleep. So, have yet to draw a supporter as third turn, so I'm going to just attach another energy to Mewtwo and have to end my turn because there is really nothing else I can do. But my Emolga finally wakes up. However, I have a feeling it's about to be put back to sleep by that Altaria. He plays a Gabite, so here's where I know the Garchomp is coming. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like he can do anything else, so he's kind of dead drawing just like I am, but I stay awake and I top the Juniper. So, I consider using my catcher, and actually it looks like I do use my catcher. I probably should have just left that Altaria active to knock it out with Mewtwo, since it had all the energy on it, just take the energy off the field. But chances are he doesn't run Energy Switch, so I should be alright. I'm in no rush to play that Sky Arrow, because it probably helps him just as much as it's going to help me. And so it looks like I'm just going to retreat and start, I could do another Call for Family, but I'm going to just put the pressure on and start knocking something out with that Mewtwo. So, yeah, 3 energy on it. Again, I'm hoping that he continues to dead draw and just doesn't hit a Mewtwo and pop a DCE onto it. If this was a tournament, like a real game, I should say, instead of just, a fun game, I may be more conservative without, putting all the energy on Mewtwo so early. However, this is just a fun game and we'll see what happens. So, looks like, strangely enough, he doesn't put me to sleep. Oh, and that's why he accidentally misclicked. So that kind of sucks. We'll just have to we'll have to assume that maybe I just woke up. There's a very high chance that I would just have waken up. I mean, well, not high chance, I guess, 50-50, but still, that kind of sucks. Misclicking, yeah, so I should go ahead and communicate one of those eels in and get another Dynamo on the bench. Let's see if I do it. And um, looking at those two paralysis Dynamos, yep, I go ahead and play one. I'm going to go ahead and attach that fighting to Zekrom. I'm probably not going to need my Terrakion in this game. So I go ahead and end without using the Sky Arrow, and again, it's just because I don't want to help my opponent out any more than I have to. And I'm going to X-Ball for the knockout. Now, he's got a pretty large... Well, I refreshed his hand with N, so there's a very good chance that he's going to be able to draw into something to keep him in the game. Supporter, you know, he's been dead drawing for a while. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Right now, he's going to play another Gibble, and going to play, I believe that is the ability Bouffalant. And ability Bouffalant is pretty cool. It's got an ability that reduces damage done to it by 20. He just attached an Eviolite, so that's going to reduce it by a further 20, which means it's reducing a total of 40 when I try and hit it. So he's going to play a Bill, so it looks like, I don't really mind too much, by, you know, the occasional or pre-black and white, you know, HDSS card in a deck, especially in a fun game with a Poketuber. I don't mind so much. If this were, you know, looked like to be a really competitive game, I'd probably get kind of bummed out that, you know, we're using black and white or pre-black and white cards, just because it's you know, this is a good way to practice for tournaments for me, and playing against decks that I'm not going to see in tournament, or not necessarily decks, I should say cards. Yeah, it's kind of annoying for me, but, you know, one bill is really not going to make a difference. So, and actually, kind of probably hurts him more if, you know, a Sharon would have been a much better play than a bill. So, I'm going to play Random Receiver, and there's always seems to be a lag when you play Random Receiver. I don't really know why, but got an N, and before I N, and I'm going to want to N while I have a high number of prizes left, because, you know, so I think I've N'd once. Yeah, I think I've already N once. I know I play 4 N in the deck, so I want to go ahead and N again while I have 4 prizes left, because I'm about to take another one, and there's another N. So I definitely don't want to be N'ing myself when there's only 2 prizes left. So I'm going to go ahead and X-Ball to knock out that Emolga. And yeah, right now I'm hitting for quite a lot of damage with that nice loaded up Mewtwo. Now, he's got quite a few different options on the field right now. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the energy to power them up. And that's a big thing in today's format, is energy acceleration. Are you going to use something like Eels to be able to keep your energy on the field at all times? Are you going to be able to use something like Darkrai to be able to utilize Dark Patch to get that energy on? Garchomp Altaria is typically a deck that really doesn't have to worry about energy too much, because its main attacker, Garchomp, only needs 1 fighting. But it looks like he plays some other things like the ability Bouffalant and Terrakion EX. Terrakion EX definitely is not a bad play. A little bit, I've never seen it in or in Garchomp variants, but definitely not a bad idea considering all the Darkrai and Zeal variants going around. So he threw up the Bouffalant, which is a great play because its reduction by 40 means he's gonna have some time to stall. So unless I bring out a Pokemon catcher and drag something up from the bench, that's going to give him a little time to kind of hopefully catch up and get some stuff building up. So he did evolve a Swablu on the bench to Altaria, and I think Altaria has Eviolite. Is that an Eviolite attached, or is that energy? Because now that it's evolved, Eviolite doesn't take effect. But more importantly, the Gibble has evolved to the Gabite. Gabite's power, I'm pretty sure that's the ability Gabite, is Dragon Call, which lets you search for a Pokemon. I believe he's already done that to get that first Altaria out, and now he plays a level ball to get the second Altaria out. So once he gets Garchomp out, he'll be increasing his attack output by 40. Oh, and I believe that actually was his Dragon Call ability was to get that Garchomp out. He puts in the text box down there says bad Garchomp. It's the only ones he pulled. So he says bad Garchomp. It's still a pretty powerful attacker. However, the good Garchomp is the one that hits for 60, discards a special energy, all for only 1 fighting energy. That low energy cost is a big deal in this format. Right now, you pretty much have to have something that attaches energy quickly, reuses your energy, like electric, or can, well, I guess Dark Patch can technically reuse your energy since it's still pulling from the discard pile. But anyways, yeah, something to attach it quickly, reuse it, or something that doesn't need much at all. And a lot of decks that do require heavy amounts are running things like Experience Share to make sure they keep that energy on the field. So it looks like he attached a fighting to the Gabite down there, and then had to pass, like leaving up that Bouffalant to stall is the goal. So I play N, go ahead and just, you know, while I still have 3 prizes left, just burn an N, and looks like I pulled a level ball, so I can get another eel into play. No supporters, nothing else to do, so I'll go ahead and just X-ball for, I believe, 60, and would have done 100 had you know, the Bouffalant not reduced by everything, but still cool. So, sorry about that. Put up my hypercam, that's how I record my videos. Accidentally clicked that instead of trying to click the text box. So he does evolve to Garchomp. He uses a bill to draw a couple more cards. And now we'll see, there's another Gibble. And looks like he has to pass. He did not have a switch to be able to get back to that Garchomp to attack. I didn't pull anything useful though, so there's nothing I can do. All I have to do is attack. Now, the good thing is that my attacking does get me another prize. So he's got a lot of work to do to try and get back in this game. If that Terrakion EX was good to go, that would, well, I mean, it still couldn't. He pretty much needs a Mewtwo counter. That's a big thing, is that Mewtwo's got way too much energy on it to easily stop it, and ooh, he plays the N. So I'm down to 2 prize cards, which means I only get to draw 2 cards, so that N could really potentially hurt. I draw into an N, which really is of no help whatsoever. He's going to be able to put 80 on that Mewtwo. I draw into a Zekeels, so that really doesn't help. My bench is full, so I'm going to play N just to get myself a fresh hand of 2. And I pull an energy. So that's actually a pretty good thing. I'm pretty happy for that energy. And now the question is do I have enough to knock out Garchomp in 1 hit? He's got 2 energy on him, so that's, and I've got 5 on me. Is that 5? Or, well, 6 with DCE, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yep, that is enough for a knockout. So I may have 100 damage on me, but I've got just way too much energy on me. There's yeah, there's not much that he can do, so sorry about that. Again, when I'm trying to play on here, I don't use full screen because I have a second monitor that I like to do things on at the same time. And when I'm trying to click in the text box, it's kind of right there on the border, so sometimes I accidentally hit my icons. Looks like, so the Terrakion EX is going to come out and play. And he's going to do Rock Tumble for 50. And, question, what should I do? Looks like I'm going to retreat, and I could play the Sky Arrow to retreat for 1 less, but I have Electric in place, so I can easily just Dynamotor that back on wherever I want, and the Pokemon Center really isn't helping him much, so I feel no need to really take it out, and if I had remembered, I could actually have used it on myself to heal some of that damage on Mewtwo, but I completely forgot. I did Dynamotor those onto Zekrom to be able to get a high damage output on the next turn, and was able to put on a little bit of damage with the Mewtwo. So pretty sure he cannot knock out the Mewtwo in 1 hit. So, yeah. I don't think there's really not much hope at this point for him. Looks like he's going to make it a little more difficult for me by putting a giant cape on a Terrakion. Pump Up Smash did 80. And he's already got like 100 on him or something. Yeah, he's got 100, he's got Giant Cape, so I need to do 120 to him. And hey, guess what? That Zekrom is fully loaded and ready to do 120. So I'm gonna discard the DCE to retreat, put out Zekrom and Bolt Strike for 120 for the win. I do put 40 on myself, but that's alright. And soon we seem to have a little bit of a delay. But it's funny, you can actually, it stacks up all the energy on it even before it moves to the discard pile. So maybe not the example of a very close game or competitive game, but this is one of the first games I think I played with the Eels deck that if you watch my previous video you saw me make. So this is a good tester. This is how it works, and I'll have plenty more games up in the future. And glad to be able to play a PokeTuber. So again, that's one of my favorite features of the new site is challenging your friends.